up, everyone? This is SojuTalk, your weekly shot of K-pop. We're coming at you with a super spicy episode 295, and we're recording on August 26, 2024. I'm Doug, and joining you today, we got Warren.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
And Anita.
Hello.
As a quick reminder, check out SojuTalk on your favorite podcast platform, sub to us on YouTube, join the SojuTalk Discord, and be a part of the nation. Guys, this is like the last week of summer right now.
Ooh, man.
We're in the home stretch of season 6 as well for us.
Oh, man.
Oh, boy.
There's a lot of milestones coming up. Yeah, and my hard work season's about to end too, which is great. Hey, after hours this week, we're just going to be doing some light brainstorming for season 7 changes to the podcast.
Oh.
You know, so a very meta topic. If you don't care, don't stick around. Honestly, we're not putting a gun to your head and making you stay for that. If you're somewhat interested to see what direction we're gonna go, we behind the scenes had a few 5-minute discussions about this. We'll air them out a little bit and we'll see what's up.
Yeah.
Other than that, last week of summer we got some fun songs, big new releases here. We got 3 of them. The 3 that won the poll: Young Posse, Ate That; Oh My Girl, Classified; ZEROBASEONE, Good So Bad. But let's start at the top. Young Posse, Ate That. They are from DSP and Beats Entertainment. The last 3 songs: XXL, Young Posse Up, and I forgot the third one before. I don't know why I didn't put it. But
Macaroni.
it is macaroni cheese.
Macaroni cheese.
Hey, this Young Posse thing, I'm gonna be honest. There were certain points about their run where I'm like how much further can we go with this, right? Are we gonna fully commit for the long run on this kind of vibe, this hip hop heavy theme with these insane videos? Seems like the answer to all that is yes. They hit us with a GTA, in particular GTA San Andreas PS2 era vibe music video here.
Yeah.
Hey, yo.
Wow, with a ton of references. We got a UPS reference in here. We're pulling from so much classic 90s West Coast hip hop in this song. Overall, it works. It works so well for this track.
Ooh.
Am I wrong?
Same. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah. Oh, wait, you don't think so? You disagree?
No, I do. I think that it works.
Oh, you think
that
it
works?
Okay.
It works really well.
I was shocked for a minute because I was fairly certain you'd like the song too.
No. You're correct. I do like it. I think
For sure.
kind of referencing what you were wondering, Doug, about whether they will keep this up. I read in some comments people saying that this was a trilogy, right? So the food trilogy is coming to an end. I don't know if they will continue to do something crazy with the concepts. My guess is yes, but I think they're wrapping up this food storyline that they've kept for I think all the music videos too. They reference the previous singles as well.
Back. That guy came back, you know?
Yeah.
The donut chef guy, yeah.
What a phrase to hear. A food trilogy is like.
Yeah. It's unique, but it's fun. I think what works with them is that it could be borderline cringy, like what am I watching? But because it comes off as very unserious, very much we're aware that this is crazy, we're aware that this is not the norm, this is out there. It makes it fun because we're all aware of the absurdity that we're watching, but it's fun, it's catchy.
Sonically, it has a very solid G-Funk, West Coast hip-hop, 90s kind of vibe. The chorus is a clear call out to Snoop. It's the 1, 2, 3 into the foe. Yeah, that's very easily, clearly cut. It's we're pulling a lot of inspirations from the West Coast here. So the San Andreas aspect of the music videos, all of that fits really well. There was a bit of a change up in the second verse where we go up into this double time Detroit trap style upbeat rap breakdown. That was cool too. I think that was a very appropriate change, and I really like that direction as well. All of it came down really well. There's these lovely high-pitched lead synths that are pew 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 pew, that thing that gives it that kind of G-funk Snoop, like Dre kind of vibe, and I think all of that really works well here. The rap here is, for all intents and purposes, pretty solid, if not really good. I think previously, I talked a lot about Sunye, who is the girl with the short hair.
Yep.
Yeah.
In this track in particular, Yeonjung was the clear standout for me. She has a much more high-pitched voice tone. A lot. I don't know. Something about it feels very light. But like because of that voice tone, it feels very appropriate for this genre, for the sound. I feel like she has a good understanding of what she wants to do and pulls it off really well. And at the same time, none of it, the voice tone itself doesn't come off as unnatural or forced. It feels very, very well put together for like somebody's third comeback. It's sounding really well. Sounding really good.
I think other groups wish they had this level of commitment from their companies. Honestly, right?
Yeah.
Like the amount of crazy CGI they're using is insane. They have like relevant outfits too, right? I'm seeing a Park Chun-ho Dodgers jersey, a Kobe Bryant Lakers jersey, and a Clay Matthews USC jersey, which are all like legends in LA, right? Man, I wonder like who's doing the CGI for these music videos? It's crazy every time, and it fits the vibe so well. And they even replicate like those PS2 era jankiness in the some of the visual effects that are going on.
The music video director dropped his behind the scenes stuff at some point, right? Chris Brown. The guy who did Chris Brown and Usher, Ben Prue. I forget his name, but I believe he's the guy who is continuing to work on all three of the music videos. There is like a behind the scenes video of him working on the music videos. For Mac and Cheese. I don't know for XXL, but he clearly has an understanding of this entire genre. I think he's doing a really good job of translating that towards the K-pop grammar. So far, all in all, really working out really well. But I do want to bring it back to one of the things Anita mentioned about the potential cringe, right? Like, because obviously I don't speak in an African American vernacular English accent at all, as you could probably tell. But like I have to be transparent. I have to like open up to my to how cringy I was when I was in high school, because I was the guy who was going to ACT prep, sagging his little skinny jeans. Like that was me back in the day.
Oh my god, dude!
in my little swag snapback, and then I would be like, "Yo, snapback. What's up, man? Did you finish reading?" Like,
did you answer those prep questions?
Yo, what score did you get? So I feel like from my perspective, and the teaser went viral on TikTok because people were cringed out by the lyrics. In particular, it's giving Ate That. Now that I know the song is Ate That, giving Ate That makes sense in that grammar. But I understand where people were kind of cringed out and where people found that a little weird. For all intents and purposes, having seen the video, having heard the song, it comes off as like just teenagers having fun. Nothing more or less.
Yeah.
So that whole layer of me thinking that it's a little cringe has disappeared. Because going back to what I said earlier, I was that kid who was
I feel like they're I feel like I see what you're saying. I feel like they're towing that line relatively well. And at the same time, they have to go with this viral marketing approach because this is their, their commitment to it.
Right.
They're paying off. They got 27 million views on this video already, right? For a tiny group.
Yeah.
And, I was thinking at some point, it's like, is this just going to get way too cringy where it's just like, Jesus Christ, what are we doing? Honestly, it hasn't really, which is surprising. Like, it's, of course, a little bit cringy, I think, at times, this group. But I feel like it kind of works in their favor in a way, right? It's like, so not serious that it's working, and they have like one of the most definitive concepts, and we've been hammering it for the last year that some of these groups have no direction as to what they're doing.
Oh my girl.
We don't know what they're doing. But a group like this, Young Posse, you know who they are. They know who their audience is. They keep delivering similar songs, you know, changing up the style a little bit, and it's working. You can't really blame them, right? They're like, what's the last successful thing DSP has done? Like, it's been like 10 years, guys, right?
It's been a minute.
Kara.
It's been a minute. So, hey, I bet you they're looking like the dudes at the top of this are looking at this group like, I have no clue what they're doing, but it's working. So let's just keep funding it, you know? I wonder where the ceiling is on this kind of stuff, though. They have a very, like, specific style, right? People on our server, I don't know about now that we've had this song, but previously, they're like a love it or hate it type of group, right? They're kind of divisive in that way, where there's some people on our servers like, Young Posse is, like, the best thing ever. And other people are like, what is this shit? It's terrible, right? I wonder if they could bridge that gap. I don't know. I don't have the answers to that question. But at the same time, does it really matter as long as people are paying attention to it, right?
Any publicity is publicity.
Yeah.
I do think, here's what I think, right? Hip hop music has, even though hip hop music for some reason in the entire sphere of popular music is definitely in the downtrend. It has been the standout trends of K-pop this year, whether that be trap music or whether that be, you know, that West Coast mood, or whether that be some sort of Miami-based dance hip hop thing. You know, like different variants have been, different variants of that has been pretty all over K-pop, especially the girl group scene. Regardless of how you feel about the quality of their stuff, or, you know, whether you like it or not, I think you can't quite deny that this is quality-wise on the upper tier of this execution of sound. In all intents and purposes, I thought Mac and Cheese, when that dropped, the greatest downside of that song, it felt like they were out of the trend with that whole hip hop thing because they thought it was on the move out. But here we are. I did not read the future correctly. You know, I'm a little. You know. I think this is all in all very spicy. This is as good as it gets.
Yeah, it kind of makes me want to play GTA 6 whenever that's gonna drop. Like, which is gonna be like the biggest video game ever. Whenever
I will admit though, like, isn't Rockstar infamous for like suing the crap out of everybody that infringes on anything with GTA?
I don't really know, to be honest about that. I'm not too on what Rockstar does in terms of legal sense. But
Rockstar, leave them alone, please.
There are some companies that could say something like that. UPS is like, Jesus Christ, it's closed. Or the donut shop, right? That's in LA, that one, right? At Blockbuster, right? Blockbusted, it said. Like,
I mean, really is Blockbuster gonna sue them, really? Like, Blockbuster?
No, there's only one physical store left. I think it's in Oregon.
Oh, man.
But, hey, I kind of like what they're doing. Honestly,
I like it too.
Honestly, I think this is my favorite track this week out of the three.
I agree.
Yeah, and I've had the most enjoyment listening to this one out of the three.
It's so fun.
There you go.
Is this spicy to you, Warren?
Yeah, spicy to me.
Spicy.
It is spicy. It is spicy. They did eat that, whatever you want to say.
They have put it in their mouth. They chewed on it. They swallowed it. They digested it.
Left no crumbs.
They shat it out. That's how good it was.
Oh, okay.
Hey, and like some other groups were talking about, this feels like a well-oiled machine right now. Whatever going on behind the scenes too.
Yeah.
Like they definitely know what they want to do, and it's working. It's refreshing when groups kind of have their shit together, like the whole team, right? The artists, the people behind the scenes,
people having their shit together. That's not right. That doesn't sound right. People are supposed to be
let's go.
Confused.
Let's go to the second group. Oh My Girl Classified. They're from WM. Last three songs: Summer Comes, Real Love, Dun Dun, Dance. They took like a real modern Red Velvet pivot with their sound.
Yes, I felt that too.
Am I crazy?
No,
right, that was the first thing I noticed.
That's in my notes too.
Like kind of this art house style music video thing. You know, let me just get into it. I wish that the chorus hit a little harder. That's like my number one thing I felt about this song.
That is also in my notes. I agree. Because
I think there's a lot, and the second thing that really stuck out to me is I like her as a person, right? let me preface this. I like this person a lot.
Who are you talking about?
I did not like Mimi's rap sections in this song.
Well,
I feel like the energy was like
Not there.
not with the song. It just kind of happened.
Yeah.
She just got loud at certain points, and I was like, I don't know if I like this.
I think it's interesting because I definitely heard like the similarities in like the Red Velvet vibe comeback they had recently. I think Oh My Girl has had a type of very like dreamy fairy tale sound.
Yep. Let's call it dreamy fairiness. They had a high
like,
quotient of that.
very pretty melodies, very pretty vocals. The whole package is just very, very visually very nice to look at too. And I feel like this falls into that category as well. I think they were trying to do something a little bit different in the chorus, like make it a little bit more trendy, maybe. I think I heard like some of the percussion that was coming in felt a little like Jersey like type beats.
Full Jersey, full drill.
Yeah. Which is kind of interesting, like in the whole context of the song. But I think it made it interesting at least. But yeah, like I feel like it seems familiar yet also a little strange. It was an interesting experience, and I think it's growing on me now. But first listen, I was like, this is an interesting route for sure in the chorus at least.
So personally, I think what makes this feel less like a classic Oh My Girl song and more like a new age Red Velvet song is two things, right? On one hand, it does resemble their older stuff in this dreamy fairy tale, like very melodic, all this, string heavy, very, grandiose melodies. I think that is what brings it into this fairy tale, like very, very, very cutesy, but very big, but very, you know what I mean? Like that kind of vibe. That's what brings that together. On the other hand, their previous stuff, like for example, the fifth season or such, a lot of the
so good.
Beat kind of matched the melody, but like you mentioned, Anita, this has a very heavily a Jersey / drill rhythm. That's the pop 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 or the pop 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 pop, that thing, and it creates this dissonance. It creates tension. You know what I mean? And this comes out very clearly in the chorus where there are these gliding 808s. That is a very big characteristic of drill music. All these aggressive 808s that create a lot of, not anger, but a lot of, again, tension. You know what I mean? That is what reminds me of Birthday by Red Velvet, or the song before that by Red Velvet, where they also do a very fairy tale like, very grandiose melody matched with aggressive backing instruments, drums, that kind of thing. So in that aspect, it felt less like the earlier Oh My Girl stuff and a lot more like what Red Velvet has been doing. Probably not in the aspect of let's just fucking copy what Red Velvet is doing, but more so, like you mentioned, how do we update that sound that we've been doing into the 2024 sound where hip hop music is having a huge uptick in girl group music and Jersey and drill and all that thing, right? So I think I understand what the production wanted to do. The issue is it felt kind of shoehorned in and felt kind of out of place. And that's where, going back to what Doug said, I was also displeased about Mimi's rap verse because it felt so out of place. Like it was not.
Let's talk about this. The beginning part where she goes like, shh, dun 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 dun. That was like, I like the first half of her rap segment where she like brings everyone in. There's a lot of tension. It honestly felt like a Broadway show to me at that point. Like there was exposition going on.
Very musical
at
type.
The first part of her rap section. But then it went into more like a loud rap, and I was like, oh, we lost all the tension we had here,
now we gotta do a rap thing.
Yeah.
Now I gotta be a rapper.
But before we got there, I was like, oh, we're doing something interesting here, right? You know how in that end mix song from last week when Haewon came in, they did something like kind of quiet, and it was like, oh, we're building tension here, right?
Right.
But they delivered on it. This song, I'd be like, Mimi brought us all in. Because, a lot of times people say, like, people who give speeches say, if you speak quietly, people listen more, that kind of thing. So I was like, really? I was like, okay, what are we gonna do here? And she starts saying stuff, and I'm like, okay. We have like the beat in the back going dun 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 dun. And I'm like, okay, we're doing something. And then it just turns into a normal rap, and it's loud. And I'm like, god damn it, right? We just lost everything we were cooking up.
And I feel like it would have been one thing if that like second half of the rap verse was appropriate for the sound and all that, but it really didn't. It felt like they created this drill heavy, Jersey heavy rhythm, but didn't utilize any of it. They just threw in, okay, Mimi, do the same thing you've been doing in the last 10 years of your entire career.
I feel like I'm low key.
Yeah, like, which for K-pop, it's not. It's passable.
That's not crazy, but
right? But like
this particular sound,
it was passable in 2015. It's 2024. Before listening to this song, I was listening to Young Posse, and I was like, "Oh my god, which rapper do I talk about?" You know what I mean? Like, obviously, they're going for a more hip hop heavy beat. Mimi is probably not listening to Snoop Dogg on her own free time. Let's be honest here, but like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're going to create that rhythm and that expectations, you kind of have to deliver on it. And I felt like that is just one example of the entire track where the rhythm and the melodies kind of, it's like oil and water a little bit, you know what I mean? Like they feel like they're just sitting on top of each other, just not really well mixed, not really well arranged. It's just and that's why in my notes I was like, it feels very Temu RV. Yeah.
I just wish that chorus had more drama in it, right?
That too.
It's kind of just like whatever the melody is. I forgot, but like it just doesn't go anywhere.
I thought it was so. I feel like maybe it feels like it hasn't quite settled into this trend, like trying to make it trendy, right? I feel like Red Velvet has kind of had a couple of comebacks where they've tried to execute it, and now it feels more natural to them. I feel like for me, I still don't know if it feels natural for Oh My Girl, but the emotion behind it, I would say, still feels very successful. Like the way like the vocals are done, the music video as well had like a very like emotional aspect that I feel kind of grounded me back to like, oh yes, this is Oh My Girl, like this is their stuff, what they do very well. And in that note, I wanted to talk about the music video because I thought it was interesting how it had like a very like vague reference up until the end where you kind of feel like, oh, this is a perspective of like a doll, a plushie. I don't know, like it was very interesting the way they build it up in the music video. I don't know if you guys had any thoughts on that.
Yeah, no, let's talk about that, right? Because this track is meant to be a response off of the Dear Oh My Girl EP, which the title track was Dun Dun Dance to. One of the B-sides of that song, of that album, was My Doll, Let's Play in Our Dreams. I'm not sure if that's the actual translation. I just translated on the spot. But that's a song on the EP, and this is supposed to be the response to that, written from the POV of the doll, and that is the visual portrayal of what's going on here as well. That being said, I really didn't feel, that's what the press release said. Did I think it was that? I don't think so. You know what I mean? Like, I felt like there was a level of commitment, just not enough. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I felt like.
Some of the sets to me kind of look like Tomorrowland at Magic Kingdom. I don't know why.
Like, what's that?
Interesting.
Okay, I'm going really deep in my bag here. Like that one set where there's just like random model buildings, right?
Yeah, with the lights
it kind
on.
of feels kind of odd and a little bit futuristic for some reason. That's like, it's like a dated what you think the future looks like to me, and that gives me very Tomorrowland vibes at Disney. I don't know why it does, but it just kind of feels like people who've been to Disney, this kind of feels like you're walking down. You kind of feels like you're walking from Main Street USA into Tomorrowland. That's what this music video feels like for some reason. I don't understand why, but it does.
Is Tomorrowland like a future concept area? Of
yeah,
Disney
but
World?
it's like now it's like a dated what they think the future looks like. You get what I mean?
So like retrofuturism.
Yeah, that
like
kind of thing.
have you guys seen the leaked trailer for Fantastic Four?
Oh no.
Okay, never mind.
Not.
but the 80s perception of what the future is like flying cars and that shit.
Well, I'll go even further. This is like the 50s perspective of what the future looks like, and then I think some of the more like the more regular sets, like them in that one room, it kind of looks dated, like Disney does. You know, Main Street's supposed to be what Walt Disney grew up in like the 30s. You know, so that kind of vibe. I went on an aside there. Getting back to the song, I also did not like Mimi's second rap verse. By the way, just saying, she just kind of narrated for some reason. We get past that, right? And I'm like, okay, Mimi, I didn't know you spoke this much English. I don't know. There are aspects of the song I really like. I like fantasy fairy concepts. We need more of them, in fact, in K-pop. They used to be fairly common, like a G-Friend type vibe back in the day, right? But we just don't have a lot of that anymore. There's just some parts of this song, like I think the overall package, I think it's fine. I think it's good. But I think my criticism of the song is like it could have just been a little better, you know? We were almost there, I feel like.
Here's what I'll say. Like, from the larger perspective, one of my main bits of criticisms towards Oh My Girl has been a critical lack of who they are. What is their identity? What kind of music they make? And while we had this conversation today with the precursor that they had an era in their earlier discography that was very fairy tale inspired and whatnot, other than like 3 or 4 tracks, I don't think that is actually the case, in all honesty. Like,
It's a couple things, that's true.
Secret Garden, like, you know what I mean? Oh My Girl, to me, and you know what, actually, no, I'm gonna double down on that. Fans have told me that Oh My Girl is one of those groups that prides itself in having the ability to take any concept and make it their own. And I think that is probably true with Oh My Girl. They're very talented, but the issue is when you get to a place like this, where it is clearly inspired by one concept and it is, you know, an attempt to modernize it, it comes off as it comes off like there's a lack of a foundation. And that's where our conversation ends up going to. It reminds me of Red Velvet. It reminds me of, you know, like that other thing. Because if they had built that character early on in their career, this would obviously feel a lot more like, oh My Girl. We probably wouldn't have that conversation of this feels like Red Velvet, yada 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 yada. You know what I mean? So I feel like that is where that's coming back to bite them back in the ass a little bit. If they had established that earlier, this probably would have been less of an issue, and maybe we would have been a lot more open to this result. But for me personally, I'm not really convinced.
Yeah. You know, they had like the 2 mega hits with Nonstop and Dun Dun Dance, right? 2020, 2021.
Right.
It just feels like after that, and then Real Love wasn't the hit that they expected those ones to be. Like, it wasn't the hit that they expected it to be, right? But then they were like, all right, summer songs, that was our shit, guys. We were good at them. So they did The Summer Comes last year, right? And they just tried to went back to it, and then it didn't do well. And now I feel like they don't know where to go at this point. That being said, it seems like they're releasing one song a year because, you know, they've been deep in their career now. Yeah, they've been around for a bit. They're releasing one song a year. It's kind of hard to establish any real momentum though when you're releasing one song a year. You know?
Now,
it's tough.
Yeah.
All right. Is it tingly though? I don't think it's a bad song by any stretch of the imagination.
I'll go with the low tingly for me.
Oh, it was a high tingly for me.
Yeah, I think I'm agreeing with Anita. I think a couple changes this could have been a spicy song. Let's go to the last song. ZEROBASEONE. Good So Bad. They're from Wake One. The last 3 songs, Feel the Pop, Sweat, and Crush were their last 3. Hey, I heard they sold like 800K first day.
Oh my.
And people are pissed at Hanto. No, people are angry about this figure. Because Hanto didn't they didn't update their numbers for like the last 7 hours of the day. So people think it's much larger than that.
I see.
So they might by the time you're listening to this, it's probably over 1 million for this one too. Which is just kind of crazy.
I mean, okay. Day 1, so
I was the biggest critique of Feel the Pop. I absolutely hate that song still. Can't convince me otherwise.
It's not that bad. Why do
I despise that song. Fine, I think I despise that song because of my expectations, not because it's actually that bad. You know what I'm saying? I like Zero Base One. I think we're back on track with this one. This Good So Bad. I thought it was great.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. What did you like about it?
No. What did you like about the song? Let's start with. Let's give it a positive spin.
I like the boyish vibe they're giving off, which is kind of the zero. Okay, Zero Base One. Their concept to me is more like a girl group concept than a guy group concept.
What? Okay.
I've always felt this way. Where they are they're a very fan service based group.
Right.
More than any other boy group, in my opinion, right now.
Yes.
Anita, do you know what I mean about that, right? There's more glamour shots than any other boy group. Zero Base One.
That last couple seconds after the credits in the music video, everybody got a single one shot.
Missed it.
Yeah.
yeah. That's like honestly for me, that's their calling card now. Because if you think about the way they were built in Boys Planet, that's a fan service type of show, right? You have to get big individual fandoms. And honestly, this group, they got to placate to those fandoms that they got going, right? And we got certain ships, you know, we want Jung. Oh, it's like, oh, he did Boys Love. Oh, we got to have him putting the earphones on a guy. Everyone wants that callback, you know? So, like, I feel like their concept thing is kind of like, because I think girl groups are more fan servicey than guy groups are typically these days.
Yeah.
I could be wrong about that. You could state your opinion on that. But I feel like Zero Base One really hits you with the fan service for a guy group. And I think, honestly, it kind of worked in this one.
Okay. I think K-pop needs fan service. End of story.
Yeah.
I'm not going to argue against that.
It's built on fan service.
That's the whole industry. I'm the weirdo who likes to look at it from music. The issue is you take out the fan service. What do you have left? That's where I'm going to look at that, right? And what is remaining to me is a lot of pretty vanilla disco.
That's fair. That's very fair.
Like, what else do I get with this track? Not much more. It's the safest, sterile.
Yeah.
It's a little, I don't know, man. It feels very corporate. That's what this track comes off to me as. You know what I mean? And when you got like young, like teenagers and early 20s kids, just like, you know, like, and they're singing and it comes off as sterile and corporate to me. Dude, that's a flag. Like, that's, you know what I mean? That's not a good sign.
Let me make a quick correction. Jung put headphones on a girl. I thought he was putting them on Ricky. My bad. Sorry. Sorry about that. Okay, continue, Aaron.
What kind of fan service are you kidding? So, you know, that's the question. But, yeah, I think a part of why I feel that way is because of the song direction. What am I saying? It's mostly the song direction. It's mostly this lax. It's not boring. It's not slow, but it's not upbeat either. It's just mid-tempo disco, right?
It's a sunset song,
right? It's like riding off on your little open car, you know, like
in the last week of summer,
right?
You know?
Right. But and all of that makes sense. It's just a very familiar kind of sound, a set of tropes that I think we've heard time and time again in K-pop ever since BTS started off this thing with Dynamite. You know what I mean? It's and when it was a little more novel, I was having fun with it, but at the moment, I don't know, man. I'm not sure what this is adding to anything. For all of these purposes, I prefer pop way over this.
Wow.
Feel
the pop.
Okay.
You know what? Regardless of what I said at that point of my life, I think it was at least appropriate for who they are. Like, they're a group of early 20s, late teens, you know, being young dudes, you know, doing their thing. This just feels like You get the idea. I'm not gonna beat the bush. Right.
I mean, that's an interesting
go.
perspective, because to me, I didn't quite get like Daryl, like corporate, like devoid of emotion type of sound. I was kind of, and it's interesting hearing Doug's perspective of it, of them having more of a girl group vibe, like implemented into a guy group. Because for me, this sound felt very like pop, like very. I think the artist that I was thinking, not to say that it sounds exactly like it, but the artist I was thinking of was Taylor Swift. Like, I'm thinking Lover era, right? So like a couple years back, but it was very fresh, very light. I think one of the songs I was thinking of, like, it's not this song. Like, it doesn't sound exactly like this song. I don't even think that it was an inspiration, but like Cruel Summer, styled, like that vibe. I was feeling it in the sound and also in the music video. I think it, of course, very fan servicey, but I think this was probably my favorite like storyline from them, because it at least had like a little bit of more layers with like a writer, a director, and like they are like the subject of this writing and like trying to break out, or like are they not? I was a little confused at the end, because we get the perspective of them being in a shoot, right?
Yeah.
And then like you go like on the other side of the camera and there's that guy. So I don't know. I thought it was a very interesting way of building that and like not making it super tropey, because there was a lot of that, but also adding a bit more depth to that, instead of it just being like a lot of glamour shots, a lot of close-ups. Which is, I mean, it's fine, but I think it can get a little old if you do that all the time.
Unless you like.
So
their
yeah, I don't know. What?
No. Speaking of Taylor Swift, I felt like if this was a part of Harry's last album, like Harry Styles, like I felt like that would fit right in. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, I could see that too.
Yeah, like, so if like that's the kind of music you enjoy, I feel like this would be right up your alley. Just personally, this is kind of isn't my vibe. But like, yeah, it there is definitely a market for this music out there. As Dynamite has told us, as well as the, you know, several other iterations of disco pop, you know, but yeah.
I'd like to clarify, when I meant that they have a girl group concept, I mean more like the amount of fan service we get in each music video. That's what I mean. Not musically.
I think we got you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why are you so worried about people misunderstanding you?
I don't know. I don't want people to be like, you think they're a girl group? They're not. I like ZEROBASEONE, guys. I like the fan service too. I like when Hanbin's face is on the screen, guys. We need more him, by the way.
Doug called ZEROBASEONE a girl group. Confirmed. Red circle.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
Bro, we need more Hanbin and more Ricky on the screen. That's like why I come and watch these music videos. We Hanbin or Ricky. Come on. We need more sultry Ricky shots. Other than him, bro. That scene when he's walking through the tunnel. Let's go, Ricky. Come on.
In the intro to the music video and midway through and near the end, we have what I would assume is a cameo appearance.
Yoo Ji-tae, right?
From the legendary Korean actor Yoo Ji-tae. If you have seen Old Boy, he there. What was that drama?
Attack the gas station.
Right. Oh, like that was a famous one. Yeah, like Vigilante, he's there as well, like in the new Disney Plus show.
One Fine Spring Day.
It feels like he was there to play the role of the guy who was doing the flashbacks and the throwbacks. You know, looking back at his life, and men in ZEROBASEONE played that role of younger Yoo Ji-tae.
Is that? Oh, interesting.
That was my interpretation of it, and that's why at the end he's like, he's grown up. He's become a music video, a film director, and he's like looking through the camera. He's like, yeah, kiss Ricky. Yes, you know what I mean.
No,
I'm just kidding.
Okay,
but like, given their whole, you know, film concept, cinema concept, I was like, okay, that's a pretty neat touch. You know, pretty cool. I didn't hate that. Man,
I was thinking about my fan service take. I think why I feel this way is that they barely show any like idling, as in like dancing, singing things. You know.
Oh, but
there's like
today. They did.
I know they do a little bit, but relative to
It wasn't the main thing.
it's not the main thing ever. For them,
okay, that's
you
fair.
know.
Yeah, no.
I think that's my main. Although in Bloom, it was a pretty big part of it. So they are capable, obviously. I just wish we got more performers because I know these kids are good at it. That's one of my. I think that's my main take. I don't think they've really ever topped their debut song In Bloom, to be completely honest. Someone who's listened to all their title tracks. I don't know. That one was just a banger. I feel like we haven't gotten back there. Overall, though, I thought this was fine. I thought this was a tingly song, Anita. Didn't you?
No, yeah, I think it was. It felt somewhat in line to what they've done already, like in the light, the like fresh vibe to it. Because they kind of did that with In Bloom a little bit too. But yeah, it's nice. I think it's a good performance as well. I think some of the members who I don't expect to have a lot of vocal lines got them, and then others got rap lines. I don't usually tend to rap or have like a verse like that. So I don't know. I think it was a nice switch up here and there. Yeah, pretty good. Tingly.
Maybe I want more songs like their second one, Crush, which was more performance based. But I don't know if I actually do want that. Hey, let us know. Which one do you like? Feel the Pop or Good So Bad? Warren likes Feel the Pop, which is very surprising to me. I think Good So Bad as well.
What's wrong with Feel the Pop?
I don't like the song at all. I don't like it.
Poppin'.
The pop, going crazy. Pop. Okay.
You don't go crazy when you pop. Pop. No, one. Sorry. Let's move on.
Okay. Other big releases this week. Flav, Pump Up the Volume, Aili One Firework, Mamamoo Moonbill, Is This Love, Ryu Sujong, White Dress, Super Junior Sungmin, Yo Yo Yo, NCT Dream, Reigns in Heaven, NCT Jaehyun solo debut, Smoke, 2 PM Junkei with Paint This Love. It's very interesting that Jaehyun, his solo debut would be a song called Smoke, considering that Smoke Challenge was like one of the biggest things at the beginning of the year. You know?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I wonder why you would do that. Although there is so much overlap with song titles at this point in K-pop, it is what it is. All right, Spice King. Last week, episode 294, Lisa, New Woman featuring Rosalia, picked up its first crown. Second place, Promise 9 Supersonic, also tied with NMIX See That. Third place was in Hypen EXO, Only If You Say Yes. Still with 2 crowns, eligible for the Hall of Spice. New candidates are Young Posse 8 That, Oh My Girl Classified, ZEROBASEONE, Good So Bad. If I remember correctly, the only reason why Hypen was at third was Anita gave it her first place vote, right?
Oh, me.
Oh my god.
Is it your first place again? Don't tell me, actually. Oh, man.
You'll find out.
I have had a week to let these songs sit, right? The ones from last week. You gotta put NMIX in first place, don't you?
Yo!
You gotta put it in first. You gotta put Lisa in second. You gotta put Young Posse in third. That's the chart.
Oh.
Interesting. Sorry, who was your second?
I got NMIX first.
Lisa
second. Young Posse third.
Interesting. Okay. Interesting takes.
I see.
Anita, do you have it Hypen on your chart?
No, I let it go.
Oh, you let it go.
I did, but I have still been listening to that. So, I wanted to kind of switch it up a little bit, give a shot to more new songs. So in first place, I don't know. I had a good time with Young Posse. It's in first.
Wow.
Ate that in first. I really enjoy watching them perform too. I think their commitment to the concept, the sound,
commitment. I love
the dance moves, the old school hip hop dance moves. I really enjoy it. I'm interested to see where they go from this. Like, it seems they're wrapping up this trilogy, so I hope it's more fun stuff. So, first place. Second place, I also have Lisa, New Woman featuring Rosalia. This one has really been, I don't know, like it has grown on me, and I think I've been revisiting more Lisa's solo stuff because of it. So
Lisa
that's where I'm keeping it, second place. And finally, in third, I'm gonna give it to Oh My Girl. I did have some criticism for it, but overall, I like the fairy tale, dreamy sound from them. I think my favorite songs from Oh My Girl have fallen into that category. So I like to see that it's coming back from them. And the vocals are just amazing. I think they have very, very strong vocalists, very pretty melodies. So third place.
Oh man, I didn't know I'd be pulling on Anita today. Man, it's interesting. On first, I have New Woman by Lisa featuring Rosalia, brand new dia. I have been listening to it all week. Good song. I like it. Good beat. Good production. Love the change up. No, nothing bad. I like it. Good song. On third place, I'm gonna do my third place first. On third place, Ya Boys Got Ate That by Young Posse. You can't ignore that one. It's a good song.
Nice.
It's a good beat, good execution. Like Anita, I'm looking forward to what they have next. Typically, I like to say 3 or 4 songs is, when you should change up the concept a little bit. So I would like more hip hop, but maybe a different flavor. Maybe less food. Do you want to do something else? I don't know, shoes or something. I don't know. Whatever. Don't take that as actual advice. Okay. Second place, I got Supersonic Performance 9. Still listen to that song.
Whoa!
Still think it's a good song.
Really?
Ooh.
Holy crap! Did not see that coming.
Yeah, I know, right?
What happened to NMIX, dude? You love that song.
I had a good time with it.
That's it? It's done?
What do you want me to do? Like, it's fourth place
done?
now.
I'm surprised by that more than anything.
I'm surprised by that.
It's a good song. I liked it. Now it's fourth. What do you want me to do? We have a lot of good music. What do you want me to do, right? It's a cutthroat industry. You want to survive. They'll survive without us. They're fine. They're great. They're doing great. I saw the sales, man. Those big boy numbers right there.
Wow. Okay. SojuTalk Nation, the Gochu Gang voted. They had a tie for third. Lisa and Oh My Girl.
Nice.
Second place, From Miss 9 and Zero Base 1.
Nice.
Wait, that's Zero Base. Wait. Oh, okay. Oh, I messed up my chart here. Okay, let me go over that. Tied in third place, Lisa and Oh My Girl.
Okay.
Second place was a tie between From Miss 9 and Zero Base 1.
Yes.
And in first place this week, NMIX See That. Boom.
Nice. All good songs.
So that means only me and the SojuTalk Nation had NMIX on their chart. Neither of you had it? That's ridiculous.
I'm sorry.
As a result, though, we have a chart here, guys. In third place with 7 points, beating out From Miss 9, who had 6, is Young Posse. Third place.
Let's go. Young Posse.
Second place with 10 points. NMIX See That with 10. And in first place, picking up her second crown, Lisa New Woman featuring Rosalia with 12.
Hey, yo,
Boom.
Lisa Rosalia.
So we got Lisa, we got NMIX, we got Young Posse. All right. We're at show winners. Anita, hit us with them.
We got G-Idol with Klaxon. They won an Inkigayo, making it the 6th Inkigayo Triple Crown of 2024. Big congrats to them. They have a total of 3 wins so far with this one.
Nice.
Yes. Just people are aware, other songs that have also done the Triple Crown this year include aespa's Drama, IU's Love Wins All, G-Idol's Fade, IL's Magnetic, and aespa's Supernova, of course.
Nice.
So they're added to that list. And then the other winner was From Miss 9 with Supersonic. They won in the show, M Countdown, Music Bank, and Show Music Core. So 4 total wins for them.
Okay, nice.
It's kind of amazing with G-Idol where people are considering this like a down release. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
Even though it charted number 4, right, in Korea, that's their floor now. Like,
bruh,
it's kind of ridiculous.
It's G-Idol.
The floor is high.
From Miss 9 4 wins. They kind of need it. We need some help for From Miss 9. All right, that ends part 1, episode 295. We'll be back after a short break to cover some news and events from the past week. 3, 2, 1.
conversation, this is Anita here with a quick PSA. If you would like to support SojuTalk Kpop Podcast, please like, subscribe, or follow us on whatever platform you're using. And consider joining our Patreon at patreon.com/SojuTalk or donating to us at paypal.me/SojuTalk. On behalf of the crew and myself, thank you. Now back to our regularly scheduled episode.
All right, we are back at it. Part 2, SojuTalk episode 295. We're going to talk about some news and events from the past week. Some Suga updates. You know, this is all still the big news right now. He appeared at the Yongsan police station on August 23rd, so a couple days ago, 2-3 days ago. He stated, quote, "First of all, I'm very sorry. I am truly reflecting on the fact that I've caused great disappointment to many fans and many people. I will faithfully participate in the investigation." Fair. Honestly.
Okay.
And then he went to Weverse. He made a big post. He kind of gave a summary of the events that happened, talking about how he's created a big blemish on the reputation on BTS, yada yada. The big thing I want to say is at the bottom, he stated, "I will accept any further punishment, criticism, and reprimand." And then he bows his head and apologizes from the bottom of his heart once again for causing social disturbance and bringing disappointment to so many people. Honestly, good statement. Fair, to the point. Yeah. Taking accountability. That's all we want, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a touchy subject. The people online are very it's a very divisive topic right now. I see people saying, "Yo, just kick him out of the group." I see people saying, No, it's fine." And you know, I don't know. If I had to guess what the outcome of this is, I think he stays in BTS. I think he kind of disappears for a year or so, that kind of thing, and then he makes a comeback. I think that's the reasonable thing, honestly.
If I had to place the bet, I would probably agree with you. Knowing that a lot of BTS's popularity lies international and whatnot. I will admit, I see a lot of xenophobic discourse online right now about Korean netizens, and you know, so I just want to clear that up, right? Because like, I want to say at least a sizable portion of the Korean internet expects Suga to leave the group. I'm not going to say majority. I'm not going to say minority. I'm just going to say...
So you're not saying like BTS fans in Korea. You're just saying people on the internets in Korea. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. And that includes armies. Or people who claim themselves to be armies. That's what I'll say, right? What I will add to that is that it is a social norm where when a public figure of any degree commits, a crime like this, felon, including DUIs, they typically drop what they're doing, leave whatever thing they're a part of, or at least, halt their activities for like a couple of years. Partially they have to because, in most majority cases, broadcasting systems will, leave a ban until, they think it's okay to show them on TV again, such as what KBS typically does. That applies to politicians, sports players, former sports players, celebrities, K-pop idols, movie actresses, actors. You get the idea, right? So I think what I want to say here is Suga is obviously a Korean celebrity, so that expectation is, being applied here as well. And that's the perspective these folks are taking. Obviously, different cultures, different societies react very differently to very different crimes. DUI is taken very seriously in Korea, or it has been in the last decade or so. My favorite comedian left Infinite Challenge back in 2014, I think, after he was caught with DUI. So that's the perspective these folks are taking. If you think they're being absolutely unreasonable and crazy, that's what I keep running to on Twitter and Reddit. So that's...
And honestly, they might be, right? They might be, based on your cultural norms and things that you expect. But given the context of the situation, hey, we're just outsiders. We're just going to have to see what happens.
Well, that's what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's keep going. Next thing, Novice opened up her X account. Novice is coming to the real world.
They
also dropped There's a
trailer,
teaser video thing.
I saw that.
Debut single done. September 10th. It's happening.
What?
What is that sign?
Okay. I have to. Okay. Apparently, it's not novice. That's apparently not the right pronunciation.
Oh.
That's how they pronounce it in the songs. That's my novice.
Now, okay. Apparently, it's naivus.
Oh, because it's like my naive.
Right. It's like NAE. Naivus is apparently how you read it. I mean, you read it however the hell you want to read it. I'm not gonna say how to read it.
That's some stupid ass SM3 shit right there. It's novice. That's literally how I think it was Giselle who said that. Like, that's my novice. No. Apparently, okay, if you look at the teaser video, it says in Korean naibis. That's what it says. What?
I mean,
Shit,
I get not
I
making
must
roll
have
there.
misheard then, because I've always been
All I
hearing
feel
novice.
like is this character model kind of looks like if IU was trying to make herself in like a Korean MMO for some reason.
IU? Why?
You know what I mean? Like, you know those videos
No.
on like Lost Ark and other games where like they try to make photorealistic, or Sims where they try to make realistic versions of celebrities, things like that. I just feel like it gives like an IU vibe to me for some reason.
You know what
real
it's
quick,
giving?
but
It's giving all 4 aespa members put together.
That's a
That's
good
what
take, actually.
what I've seen
Okay.
mentioned as
Okay.
well.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if the vocal model for Naivus
It's just the 4 of them.
is the
Just
4 of them
mixed?
stacked together. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. We'll see.
Okay. Let's keep going.
Let's go to the Kwangya.
Speaking of the Overlords Espa, right? 313th perfect all kill for Supernova happened today.
Wow.
This song's re-peaking on charts right now, by the way, somehow.
Oh, wow.
It's not done. And if you look at the all-time tally now, it is the 7th most successful song on iChart history in terms of perfect all kills.
Wow. It's
Number
beat
1,
rolling.
Ditto, Dynamite, Celebrity, I Am from IVE, Love Wins All IU, Zico, Any Song. That's what it's called? Any Song?
Yeah,
That
any
was it?
song.
Any Song. And now Supernova, 7th
Wow.
place with 313. It's only like 17 away from Any Song, which is crazy to think about.
It's even crazier if you look at the list below it. You got Rollin' by Brave
Butter,
Girls, Butter
Love
by
Scenario.
BTS,
Yeah.
Tomboy by G Idol.
Yeah, but it is the 7th most successful song on iChart
Wow.
history.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
That's crazy. I feel like it was a fine song, but not this level. You know, like
Zoop, zoop, zoop,
Hey.
zoop, Nova.
maybe it was. Maybe it was.
Never know.
In terms of crazy charting as well, Pump Up the Volume by Plave, we did not cover it this week, became the most streamed song within the first 24 hours of release on Melon in 2024, surpassing IU's Love Wins All.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Oh.
Look, I know they've got a big fandom somewhere out there.
But I can't find it. You know, that's the problem.
No. They're very heavily K based. Like,
Yes.
yeah. Like but the way I've seen the comments and stuff like that, it seems to be very, very K based.
Hey, for perspective, whatever they released in February called Asterum 134-1 for this type of group where I like to call this one like a VTuber group more or less, right? Because there's people playing
That's
the
exactly
models.
what it is. Yeah, they're virtual
It
idols.
sold 750,000,
Bruh.
by the way.
There you go.
Isn't that ridiculous for a VTuber
Hey, it
group?
works. It's
It
working for
works.
them.
Yeah, so people are really into this group. I don't think we're very super aware of that in the West yet, but maybe we should start getting on the train because people love it in Korea.
We gotta do a Plave deep dive at some point. It's gotta
Maybe
be a
we
thing.
should.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
How about we go into the conspiracies where people are trying to guess who the VTuber actors behind the scenes are?
Oh, you're
are a lot
you're not
of-
allowed to do that, dog.
You're not supposed to? You're not supposed to?
No,
Okay.
the moment you try to do that, they'll be like, nah, you can't do that.
Okay. I don't want to piss anyone off. Okay, in terms of ISNA, the group I'm gonna like, whatever they debut, honestly, they should have already debuted them. I think it was so stupid that they haven't.
Been a
But
minute, yeah.
Yeah, where are they?
Teddy will fully produce their music until the end of the contract.
Oh,
It has been confirmed.
Okay.
So-
okay.
There was an article on Naver. They were talking about it. So it's Teddy plus help, obviously, right? Teddy's in charge in general, but he's not working alone. The Black Label has a number of producers
The
under
Teddy
Teddy's
team.
leadership. Several producers plan to build the musical color of these groups. They're talking not only about them, but also the Meow group.
Right.
People are talking about.
Right.
That's also coming to double black label groups. Additionally, they stated in this article that there was discussions that Teddy was just going to produce the debut track and then he was going to hand it off to other people. But they kind of had that discussion, and now it's confirmed he's going to be a part of all their music for the next 7 years.
Can he handle that workload?
So there's a narrative online, which I am reading about, where people are going to, everyone's going to figure out, has he really been just capped by YG? Like, you know what I mean? Has he just been shackled down by their release schedule?
Ooh,
or does he
man.
actually have a bunch of songs? That's a question we're going to have to figure out.
Dude, it is time for Teddy to prove himself once again.
Exactly.
You thought he was done when he left one time. Nope.
No.
Hot Potato was not his hottest song. He's about to, drop everything he's got with Is9 Meow, apparently. So,
I've also went back and watched a lot of this stuff from from Island 2.
Yeah.
And I understand why Mai made this group. I recant everything I've ever said about Mai in my life. Just say it. Fuko, I'm so sorry about her, but I get it. Hey, I'm excited about this Isn't a group. I don't know when we're gonna get this coming. Like, dude, we were popular. We could have debuted already. I don't understand why we're waiting. Are we gonna debut Meow and Isna right on top of each other? Which seems ridiculous.
Not.
Teddy
doesn't seem smart.
Teddy's working on the track. Give him time. He's not used to making more than 2 songs in a year. You know what I mean? Like,
that's what we think. We don't know. That's what we think. Next one. This one's a funny one. So JYP's religious group,
get out.
First Fruits, registered with the Ministry of Culture, Sports, and Tourism as a non-profit corporation. So he's essentially applied his religious group. They have the status of like a non-profit church now, like a missionary group, more or less. So people are always talking about, he's literally building the cult now. Is what people, because there's people. If you don't know, in Korea, there's like an online thing where people joke that JYP's in a cult type thing. Well, it seems like he might not be because he's making his own. Seems to be the vibe.
Dude,
it was actually him all along.
He's making it impossible for me to defend him. Like, it's impossible. Like,
it's getting hard to deny.
So they registered last October, and it says that First Fruits will conduct nonprofit business in missionary work, educational classes, and publications.
Okay.
And then the first comment in Korean was, "This is how most religious cults start out." Was the first comment.
Yep.
So we'll have to see if he's gonna go full cult or not. But should be interesting. Yes.
Hopefully not. Hopefully not.
Let's keep going. Hey, Big Planet Made shared that VVZ have renewed their contracts with the company.
Nice.
Hey.
Nice.
There's so many of these groups who have signed with new labels in different iterations, and they seem like they never renew. They're not happy with the new companies. Seems like they're happy with Big Planet Made. Honestly, it's going pretty well for them. They're touring, I believe, right now, and it's going relatively well. Shout out to VVZ. Let's get it. Let's keep going. Okay. Also, Water Bomb, right? We got the lineup for Water Bomb LA.
Okay.
Happening September 28th, 29th at the Dignity Health Sports Park, which is a soccer stadium. It's in a stadium, which is kind of weird.
That's strange.
People are like, how much drainage do they got? Was what people were talking about on our server.
Soccer stadium?
Yeah, it's a soccer stadium.
Yeah.
I also have the image of the prices. It's insanity. By the way, these are one-day prices. If you want to sit, okay, where you're at Waterbomb, you should get wet, right? You should be in the front. No, you could sit in the high bleachers. It's $135 for 1 day.
That's kind of steep.
If you want to be on the floor where you're gonna get really water bombed, minimum $360.
Bruh.
Gotta pay to.
This shit it's per day. That's a 1 day. So if you go both days, it's $700 probably for the good seats.
I mean, I guess.
I mean, I can just watch this from my bathtub, throw water on myself.
So there is this. Here's the lineup though. ATEEZ, Waterbomb Queen, Kwonbi, Gray, PH1, Big Naughty, Ash Island, Simon Dominic, Hwasa, J Park, Jesse, Loco, Chunga, K-Will, Yu Soo-jung. This name makes no sense on this list, by the way.
Hey, let her do her thing.
One is
Don't
not
stop her.
the other.
I ain't mad about it. She hustling. I can't be mad. But yeah, we got the poster. They all looking great. K Will also is gonna sing some ballads and get soaked, I guess. That's a thing that's gonna happen.
What a strange lineup. It's like
really hip hop based, by the way.
It feels very Team AOMG plus
AOMG.
Yeah, it's like OG AOMG folks that all left AOMG.
And friends.
Like,
AOMG and friends.
Yeah.
Plus like Sujong, Chungha, ATEEZ, and Eunbi, and then it's a hip hop concert. Other than that, because Hwasa's kind of involved with these people, I think, as well, right? But yeah,
it's a strange lineup. I'm not gonna lie.
Hopefully they have good weather. Yeah, 350, dude, per day.
That's
day.
an investment. Yeah.
Hey, but if you don't want to go to that, I probably like a more interesting one. Kiss of Life touring already.
Ooh.
Seoul, Minneapolis, Chicago, Toronto, Montreal, Boston, Silver Springs, Maryland, New York, Atlanta, Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, Phoenix, Los Angeles, Las Vegas, Anaheim, San Francisco, Seattle, Vancouver, and more.
Wow, that's quite a list already.
This is a legit tour they're doing. Kiss of Life, first world tour, Kiss Road.
I feel like Kiss of Life would benefit a lot from a world tour given their presence online internationally.
They got like 3. Actually, they have a pre-debut song. Oh no, they have more songs than the average group, who just came back like 3 times, right? Yeah. Man, this is kind of jam packed though. When we get, let's say they get to Minnesota with Tim Walls, right here,
Hey.
and then they're going straight like a month straight, dude. December 13th.
They are, man.
These tours are like jam packed.
Wait, they're performing on Thanksgiving Day?
Oh
Are they
my
literally?
God.
Oh
Yeah.
wait, no, they're skipping Thanksgiving.
Okay, skipping Thanksgiving. They
It's
gotta
like
go
Black
from
Friday.
they're doing Vancouver to Seattle back to back, same like one day after the other. Apparently, they're doing Montreal to Boston. That's a long drive. That's like a 5-hour drive, unless they're flying.
Hope they are.
Wow.
Chicago to Toronto back to back as well.
I feel like this area of the year is typically not a good time to do these because people have end of the year plans, like kids busy with school.
Yeah, kids are in school. They're doing final midterms at this point, right? Before Thanksgiving.
And again, this is that entire week of New York, Atlanta, Houston, Dallas, San Antonio. That's like Thanksgiving day before, day after Black Friday. That weekend, you know what I mean? I don't know. It feels a little funky, but I mean, Kiss
whatever
of Life,
though. They're popular.
Yeah,
people will probably go to this for sure. Yeah. And then finally, who else is touring here? We got Billy. They went to Europe. Now they're going to North America and Latin America. Jersey City, Chicago, Toronto, Atlanta. I don't want to mispronounce Bayamon, Bogota, Lima, Santiago, Sao Paulo, DDMX. I think this is Mexico City, right?
Yep.
I think.
Yep.
Dallas, Tucson, Berkeley, Los Angeles. Hey.
Wow.
Oh, Bayamon's in Puerto Rico.
Wow. Okay.
There you go.
You get a Billy Puerto Rican concert. I feel like they just want a vacation out there, right? But they got to be in Bogota in 3 days after that, so I don't know how much vacation you get to do.
Maybe they're gonna film a music video there.
Yeah, they're also
cool.
doing this kind of November to December thing as well, at the same time.
I mean, they don't have Thanksgiving down in Puerto Rico, right? Actually, don't know. Maybe they do.
I don't know. They're a territory. I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
Let us know if you know.
Yeah.
That's the news. Next week in terms of music, nowadays, Rescene. There's a group here that's debuting. They're one of those groups with the weird K-pop name. Let me figure this out. Eonit. Yeah, Eonit. It's a virtual idol group. We got another one coming, guys. It's happening.
One.
We got EXO Chanyeol solo debut, Bang Ye-dam, the big one, La Seraphim. Have y'all seen some of these teasers? There's like Yoonjin in an anime blue wig in one of them. It's kind of crazy.
Hey.
We have WeI, Alexa, Yoonha, Boys Next Door pre-release, Day 6 Ensemble. Yeah, you got to check that one out. I was like, is that Yoonjin? And it was. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Hey,
Okay.
yo.
But after the break, also one thing, this La Seraphim comeback, it seems very like Vogue high fashion-y all of a sudden.
I like it.
It has like interesting vibe.
I'm waiting for it.
All right. After the break, we're gonna talk about potential changes to our show, season 7, how we're feeling, things like that. If you're curious about that, stick around. If you're not, hey, come next time. We're going to talk about Le Seraphim. We'll see you guys then. Bye, everyone.
Hey.
Bye.
We take a break here typically.
3,
Instead
2,
of saying
1.
bye.
Oh, break. Bye.
And here's an extra special shout out to all of our Fiesta Patreons on patreon.com. Bagel, Charles, Cotton Ball, Ellie, Gogu Mama, Honey Pools, Liam's Games and Toys, NJ Parks, South Texas Once, Siu Sumi. And thank you for joining SojuTalk, your weekly shot of K-pop. Thank you, really. And special thanks to our Discord server mods: Jacob, K-Music Erday, Koala, Max, Tuggle, and Wolf297.
Alright, after show. I don't know how we've been doing this long, but apparently season 7's just on the horizon.
Oh my god. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's happening. Every time we're going to change this season somewhat soon. So this seasonal change would happen in like a month, right? We always have discussion behind the scenes as to what we think we like about the show, what we don't like about the show, what we could change, what we could do better. We've been having those discussions behind the scenes, right? What were some standout things that we've been talking about, Warren?
Okay.
Name one of them.
We have been talking about changing the spice system. That makes it sound like we're spice traders, but so right now we have a couple systems. One, we rate the songs we talk about: spicy, tingly, bland.
Mild.
Mild.
Y'all don't even use mild. Y'all don't
I've
use
used
mild.
it.
I've never given a
used it,
mild in
like,
my life.
I've given out like 2 miles.
You guys have given it. You rarely ever use it.
And Warren is quite generous with
I'm
it.
quite dude. I like to have a what they call a bell-shaped curve. Yeah. I like to keep it in the middle. Y'all are like everybody gets an A.
Y'all remember when we went to Buffalo Wild Wings with the drum crew and people would get the wings with 0 sauce? That's Anita. She doesn't give it that out.
That is offensive. Anita likes spicy food. That is.
I've given little tinglies before.
So personal take. Let's get rid of that system. I don't think it's working.
I don't like that system anyway. By the way.
Yeah,
That's true.
Do
Maybe
you want to do numbers or should we just not?
I'm
That's
okay with
something to consider, I guess.
Yeah, like okay. Here's the thing. For a long time, I have done some mental gymnastics to say we're not K-pop reviewers by saying we have an open discussion. We don't give out numbers.
We are though
at this point. Essentially, like spicy, tingly, and bland has more mild. Has been our code for A, B, and C. Like that's what it's been. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I say at this point, let's just play into it. I think numbers exist for a reason. I think they're a helpful resource. Everybody knows what it means. You know what I mean? So like we could
completely our opinion as well,
right?
Like this is not an objective rating,
and it's not like we already do a pretty good job of explaining why we like things or don't like things. So, I'm thinking maybe you can switch over to like a number system or like a grade system.
That's something we consider. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you guys think? You know, like maybe we can start saying, "Ooh, this gets a B plus," You know, let's get to A minus. Or like
I think if we do any type of numbers or gradings,
yeah,
we're going to have to
deal with comments.
establish what an average song gets. Do you know what I mean? Like me, if I was rating songs just generally, like this song is just okay. This is the most medium song or most tingly song ever, right? It's just okay. This is an okay song. What number do you think that gets out of 10?
2.5. Oh, out of 10?
Out
of 10, it's a 5.
5.
For you, Warren?
5.
It's a 5.
See, like for me, I'm a nice guy. That's like a 7. That's what you would have to establish.
Okay. Here's been my system that I've been using by myself, right?
Let's make it out of 5 then.
I do an out of 5 system. I have
we
given
halves,
5.
With halves?
What?
With halves, right? Like 1.5.
Like a point
Right. So like 0.5, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5,
Okay.
3.
Yeah.
Most songs get either a 3 or a 2.5. 3.5 to me is like, that was really great. 4 to me was like, holy shit, that's like song of the year shit. 4.5, I think I've given a 4.5 like 2 or 3 times ever. I've never given it a 5 yet. If you look at my Notion database, you two have the link to it.
Right, yeah.
That's what I think my rating system is like. But I know that's hella conservative, and people are gonna be like, "Oh my god, that's a 7 out of 10." You know what I mean? Like, but like, I want to utilize the entire range of numbers.
I would be more okay if we do this rating system out of 10.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Really?
Because I would, if it's out of 10, for me, like, let's for perspective, out of 10, right? I would give, like, I Live Magnetic, personally, out of 10, 9.7, 8.75, 8.75.
What? That's crazy.
At least a 9.
Whoa, Anita's saying even higher than me. She'd give it a 9. That's a 4.5, Warren, on your current scale.
Wait, Doug, you said 9.7.
No. I said 8.75.
Oh, 8.75. Okay. Anita says 9.
I would give, like, Twice Fancy, for me, like a 9.5. You know, that's what I'm talking about.
Wow.
Because I love that song. That's like one of my top 5 all-time songs.
See, I would have to adjust my internal system a little bit because I think Magnetic was 3.5 for me out of 5. Like
this Young Posse ate that for me. If we're going on the scale where 5 is just the most average of songs, right? This Young Posse joint, like a 7, 7.25.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree with the 7.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's somewhat reasonable.
Yeah, okay, we can keep.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't we
about it though?
let's sit on it. Let's sleep on it. 10-point score system. I know the text is super small. Give me a
10-point scoring system with 5 as an average. Something like that. Like
with
bell curve.
Bell curve. It's got to be a bell curve, Doug. It can't be a straight curve. You know what I mean? It can't be.
I know it can't be linear.
It's got to be one of these. You know what I mean? Where it's like low. It can't be a bloody like square looking graph.
No, it would be like 0, 0, 0, and then a bunch at the high end. You know, that's how it actually the distribution would be.
All right.
Yeah.
10-point score system with a bell curve at 5.
So for me this week, if I had to give out, it'd be like Young Posse 7.5. Zero Base One 5.25. Oh My Girl 5.75. Something like that. Is that reasonable?
I think that's reasonable.
I mean, it's also personal because like
obviously, but for me, like that's so I see all 3 songs this week. I told you guys right when we started this week that I thought all 3 were above average.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh.
Okay, so it would be a 10-point score system in scales of 0.5s.
I think that's fine.
Okay. In my system, I would give maybe Young Posse a 7.
Okay.
Oh My Girl a 5.5 and Zero Base One a 5.5 or a 6.
Yeah, that's somewhat similar to where I am.
Yeah. Okay. All right, let's take that
do
idea, put it under your pillow, give it to your tooth fairy. You know,
put a pin in it.
Put a pin in it. I'm once again.
We used to. So you remember like 3 years ago, we used to do a song rating on the Discord as well.
We used to at some point, yeah.
But that was a lot of effort because someone had to pay attention every morning to do it, right? With the new songs.
We're not doing that again, no.
I don't think
that drove you nuts. The thing is, though, like, okay, separately from this, we also have a Song of the Week system, right?
The spice chart.
The spice chart, where Doug, Anita, and I, and the community, we rank songs from 1 to 3, and then we average that out. Top of the number one on the overall list becomes Song of the Week. If you get Song of the Week 3 times in a row, that enters the Hall of Spice. I think it'd be really neat if you could incorporate this 10-point score system with that as well. You know what I mean?
Oh.
So like it's not two separate systems.
I think that's hard because there's listener fatigue. That's the problem with that. You get what I'm saying?
Oh.
That's the issue with doing a mirror on each side.
Well, that's why I feel like that's kind of ironically why I want to combine those two systems, because if you have two systems, you have to keep up with two systems. That's a lot to keep up with, you know? Like maybe you can reduce fatigue.
For us though, I feel like the spicy tingly mild was mostly on our end, right? Like we didn't have
that one didn't really feel like it was a big deal.
No, I'm not saying let's ask the listeners to participate in that. I'm saying
okay.
Why don't we one way you could do this is we could simplify the Song of the Week system and literally just go with one song per week. Like the spiciest track of the week. You know?
So just pick the best track of the week, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And are we gonna? So, but my question with that one is is fall off, because right now, let's say on Soju chart, last week From Miss 9 Supersonic was tied with Nmates, and there was an Hypen and Lisa, so they all got to be in next week's contenders, right? Like this current week's contenders.
Right.
How do we deal with that then?
That's a good question.
Great question.
That's a good question, right?
Something I wanted to bring up, because I don't know if a lot of the listeners would agree, but something we've noticed, right, internally, was that we wanted more interaction from the community to do some of the voting, right, for the chart itself.
The better way to put that is Warren's current way of getting you guys to vote for Soju chart on the Discord is bad, that we make you go to a form. That's
right.
What we
want to make it easier.
We want to make decision, yes.
Because let's go to the beginning. Are we okay with the way we choose songs each week right now? I'm kind of okay with it. I think
that's
it's
fair.
the most fair way to do it.
Oh, instead of continue the ranking system?
No. We're not talking about that. I'm talking at the beginning. The picking the songs each week. Are we cool with the way we do that?
Yeah, like having a poll up on the Discord. For if you don't know. If you want to influence who we cover, you can go to the Discord and participate in the poll every weekend.
We put all the songs from the current week. We give people 3 votes, or if there's a ton of good songs, we give them an extra vote or something like that. We have them pick the songs they like. The highest 3 typically, or 4, get covered, right? I'm okay with that system. I think that's fine. I don't see a better way to do that, right?
Yeah. That part makes sense. Yeah.
That part makes sense. And then what normally happens is on the day of the recording, right now Warren puts up Google Forms, and we have different forms for the Spice King. I mean, for the SojuTalk Nation, we have a different form for the Gochu Gang. I think that's very convoluted, honestly. Right?
Yeah.
I think it's too much.
It's one of those things where, like, the older we get, the more scaled up it gets, and then therefore it becomes more complex, and therefore it's like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, where like it's complex and you have to understand this whole system and like what connects.
What we could do is then, once we decide the songs internally, right?
Yeah.
Let's say we pick 3 new songs, and let's say we somehow decide to keep all like songs for 2 weeks after the release or something like that. Let's just say we decide to do that, right? So we have songs from last week and songs from this week, right? And we put them in the poll. And let's say a song has won, then it's on there, right? The song from last week, that one is on there. How about we just say, which is the best song this week? And then we just make them choose, right?
Yeah,
then whichever one gets the most votes is the song of the week for them. That's the one they want for song of the week.
Okay, so essentially, for example, for this week, they would have 4 choices, which would be the 3 songs we discussed during today's episode, and the Spice King of last week, which is Lisa's New Woman featuring Rosalia. Those 4 options.
No. I think we should allow for songs that didn't win. Like, I think at a minimum you should stay on the chart 2 weeks. So I'm talking the 4 songs from last week: Card, Lisa, and Mixtainment. I think they should also be included. We'd have 7 choices.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I see what you mean.
So it's a rolling system, right? It's a rolling system. So then next week, right? Next week we would have the 3 songs from this week: Young Posse, Oh My Girl, and Zero Base One, right? The songs from next week as well on that chart. And if by chance, let's say Lisa won, she's still on it on the poll.
Okay, so the eligibility for being a votable song on that week's episode is, first, it is covered on the song, or it was covered in the last week's episode, or
it won.
It won multiple weeks in a row. Okay,
that's it.
Okay.
I think that's somewhat fair.
Yeah,
because some songs grow after 1 week, honestly.
Folks, let us know what you guys think.
And what we could also do
more input on this, please.
Is Warren. We could even put both. We could, if we want to give the Gochu gang extra privileges, I can make a second poll, but you can make it so that only people with certain roles can vote on polls. I can do that internally as well.
Let's look into how to do that.
Yeah.
So we would vote one song between this week's episode,
this week's, last week's, or winner.
Last week's EP, or
last week's winner.
And obviously,
I think that's fair.
There might be some overlap, but I think that's fine.
And then whichever song gets the most votes, that's the song from them, for them. And then for us, I guess we just pick our favorite song. I don't know how we would do the tiebreakers or whatever, but I'm assuming there would be some form of overlap. You know?
I think so too. But the key change here, I guess, would be that they would vote one song only.
One song, and we vote one song.
Okay. Well, I know that one of the things that people have been discussing when we talk about these polls is that a lot of people feel pressure to check out all these songs before they vote.
I agree.
I recognize that's a pretty big. This is a lot of things to check out. So maybe this will work better. I don't know. We'll see, right?
I think it's much easier to just pick one song, even if it's a biased vote. At least it's easier to just be like, "Yep, and mix. Let's get it right." Boom.
Right. On top of that, let's kind of pivot. Well, another thing we want to look into changing was we wanted to reform the news section.
Yes. Right. Okay. So let's talk about it. We've been talking about the front half of our show, the back half of the show. The front half of the show, other than this new way we're gonna do Spice King or whatever we're gonna call it then, pretty much gonna remain intact. We're gonna cover like 3 songs, right? We're gonna do the chart thing, Spice King, what we're calling it now,
discussion,
and then we do show winners, right?
Yeah.
That seems pretty standard. Song discussion into charting into show winners. I think that would stay the same, honestly. I don't see that changing. What we do want to change potentially is, I think the major change for next season is we're gonna get rid of like the straight news section in favor of picking out like 2 to 3 that are interesting and relevant and having bigger discussions about those ones. How do you guys feel about that?
So we talked about this last week. I've been sleeping on it. It has been under my bed and pillow. Here's the thing, right? Like, I personally don't think a lot of the news articles that we cover on the show is particularly relevant to the entire audience. For example,
like touring dates.
Exactly. I think a good third or so of that section is spent on listing out the dates and locations for the Kiss of Life tour, or whatever, who's going on tour. And then we go into a random tangent about, does Puerto Rico have Thanksgiving? You know what I mean? Which, I mean, is fine. It's nothing wrong with that. But I'm thinking, okay, I think a longer and more meaningful conversation could be had about Suga's DUI situation, or maybe talk about the water bomb LA lineup, or
honestly, if I had to pick what I think the 3, let's say we do 3 again, right? Like we do 3 songs, right?
Yeah.
It'd be Suga. It would probably be Novice. And it would probably be Isna/Cat's Eye. Not Cat's Eye. Isna/Meow.
Meow.
Yeah.
Right? Those would probably be the 3 big topics this week. Right?
Yeah.
Those are all very interesting topics. I could see us talking for like 10 minutes about each of them, you know?
And since we have the web browser pulled up on the screen, we can do some live extra additional research. And like it could be a bit more of a deep dive rather than here's a list of everything that's happened, you know?
And if anything pretty big happened, we'll mention at the end of this segment. I'll be like, other big things are blah 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 blah. You know,
more
but
quick,
like,
though, yeah.
As long as they're big enough, like, but like touring and things like that, unless it's a massive person, we won't talk about it. You know, or things like that, or like, oh, this person now got a sponsorship deal. We would never talk about it, even though we don't talk about that type of stuff now. But like, I feel like news right now is me just kind of listing off the articles I found. And to be honest, let us know what you think, because there are other people in the past who said, no, I need the news section because I don't pay attention to the news and you guys deliver it, right? We've had that said many times as well. So we're open for discussion on this one, because I think it could go either way, honestly.
And I think we want to do a little bit more effort, I want to put a little more effort. So the whole State of the Nation section at the moment, I kind of curate what we do, right? Like last week we did the whole "You've Got Mail" thing with the Teddy.
People liked it. People liked that segment.
Yeah,
by the way, the reception was good.
Everyone thought this email was legit from Teddy Oppa Ooh right here. You know what I mean?
Really?
I spice.
The tier list, the IU concert discussion, like the tier lists we do. I think I want to put a little more effort, put a little bit more effort into making that relevant to whatever is going on in the recent events of K-pop. For example, we have LE SSERAFIM coming back in the next week or so. There is a amount of discourse online about whether they are pulling a lot of references from a certain British pop act. Maybe you can go into that. The amount of criticisms that may or may not be healthy that they received. That kind of thing, you know? I feel like the "You've Got Mail" thing with Somi and the Teddy, that thing was like another attempt at trying to like incorporate a recent discussion into, you know,
maybe we bring back Harold. I feel like we could drop some hot takes. Like we could literally just, I think a take would be disabling comments was the wrong thing to do for LE SSERAFIM. That's a take. Right? This is a very relevant conversation to them.
I think the exact format of how we approach this could change up every now and then.
Yeah.
But I think that's where my head is at with State. And I think like maybe so at the moment, like with the way we structure news, it's very short. You know what I mean? It's like 10 minutes pop tops. Why don't we combine part 2 and part 3 into one part?
That's what I'm thinking as well.
Right.
That's where it's leaning towards.
Maybe the last topic could be that hot take, you know?
Right.
Harold got a hot take this week. It's like, with LE SSERAFIM coming back, do you think turning off the comments was the right decision? You know, something like that.
And one of the things we did for one of the recent States was we received comments on the tier list video, and we went through a lot of them. We did another round of discussions based on the comments. I want to do that a little more whenever we get like a good comment,
spicy topic,
right? Like whenever we get a good comment, or you know, something on the Discord or on the YouTube video or on the Spotify replies. I think it would be kind of fun to revisit those. So maybe those could be a thing we revisit. Obviously, we'll try to shield you guys so that you guys don't get cyberbullied and all that. I don't know. That's where my head is at with State. Combining it with news and making it more relevant with recent K-pop events. So
it would be like if you have a fun topic or something you want us to do, it would be like the 4th topic of the part 2, right?
Right. And if we have major news, we probably wouldn't have room for State.
We probably wouldn't have it, yeah.
Which at the end of the day, it makes sense, because some weeks I'm like out of ideas for what to do. You know what I mean?
And it just feels like we're obligated to do it right now. You know? Yeah.
Like my go-to idea for a long time was these World Cups.
Some people love them. Some people completely tune off the second we do it.
Which was fine, because it's very not K-pop related. But like, to give you context, because we haven't done these in a while, they are essentially what we used to do for like, what's the best fruit? You know, like what's the best sandwich? Who is the best Marvel character? Who is the best K-pop light stick? You know, like what is the best animal to be reborn as? I photoshopped Doug's face into 32 options for hairstyles. What is the best new Doug hairstyle? Is it Heihachi or is it Sandra Park from Fire? You know what I mean? Like, It was fun, but I think I'm okay with moving on from this format a little bit. In favor of a more of a discussion based,
more relevant stuff.
Yeah. And like if I have stupid shit you want to do, like I'm down. You know what I mean? Like
Plus, if we ever have like a really spicy topic, it's very easy then for you to make a side video of just that too. That's going to be set up that way.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah, I will admit a lot of these ideas are coming in light of some of the YouTube videos you pulled out recently, like the Minigen stuff.
And they've been doing extremely well, by the way.
Which makes sense. Like that kind of format is more appropriate for YouTube. Our podcast format is not. Like on YouTube, we don't get too many views, but like that makes sense because that's not the kind of video that typically is promoted on YouTube in the algorithm.
Platform, yeah. Okay,
so I lost my train of thought. So you want to combine state with news, and then make it more
relevant.
And not required. Do you know what I mean? That's the other thing.
Make it optional.
Yeah. Okay. So I think that's pretty much what we were thinking. So we got a 10-point scoring system to get rid of this spicy, tingly, mild thing with an average of 5. That makes sense. Revamp Song of the Week or Spice King, whatever it's called. We might have to decide new ways. Like, we might have to revisit this and talk about internally how we want to handle Hall of Spice then. Maybe all songs that win just enter. And we just count up how many times they've won.
Right.
That's more prestigious that way, maybe.
Yeah.
But we're going to revamp the Spice Week, right? What we're thinking right now is we're just going to make it really easy. You just have to vote once. Maybe maximum twice if you're a Gochu gang, but the poll would be right next to each other. So you could just click twice. No problem. News section, where the biggest change is what we're thinking. We're going to get rid of our traditional news in favor of covering relevant discussion topics and have 2 to 3 longer topics and then mention smaller news at the end if there's anything that we feel is mentionable. And then combine that with state so that we don't feel an obligation to do it and it'll only be when it's more relevant to what's going on recently.
Or if I have a stupid idea that I think is going to be really fun. Like,
yeah, or that
a couple weeks ago where like I pulled out like trot remix instrumentals of K-pop and I made you guys guess what it was.
Yes.
That was fun. For me.
Or
I don't know for you guys.
Once in a while, it'd be fun if we just drop a nuclear take in there and talk about it.
Sure.
Oh, Doug really wants to be spicy.
I just want to drop a nuclear take.
On top of that, we'll probably change up the graphics one more time. We tend to do that every 50 or so episodes. I'm probably going to keep the theme song as is. I like how it sounds right now. Like, it was...
I agree.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's a good song.
It was very clearly meant to resemble the trend at the time, and K-pop trends hasn't changed too much since then.
No.
If you guys want a full version at some point, let me know. I'll try to finish it and drop it. It's out there somewhere. Yeah, I think that these are just ideas though. So if some of this sounds
with right now.
Yeah, if some of this sounds infuriating to you, if you think, oh my god, please don't give numbers, or oh my god, I want all the news, let us know.
Please don't change Soju chart.
Yeah,
you know,
please don't change Soju chart. Like, let me know. We would love to hear your opinions. That is why we are doing it right now. If none of this shit makes sense to you, I reach out to me and I'll try my best to explain it. Although I'm not a good explainer, so we'll see what happens there.
Warren will be having office hours. You could come talk to him
about
it.
Yes. However, Doug is the professor, so he's gonna give grades if.
All right. Hey, that ends episode 295. Let us know what you think about these proposed changes and what else would you potentially like to see from us. We'll see you guys next time. This Seraphim tracks could better be a banger. Let's go. Bye.
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 Dun 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 dun.